Big yellow trucks everywhere, okay? You know, JB's, he started in Arkansas. Well, he really wasn't trying to make sure everybody had all of their goods and services shipped around the world. It was really about taking care of his family and building financial success for his family. Am I correct? Right. So we see that over and over and over again, don't we? Even Oprah, with the Oprah show, when she started that, it really wasn't about, just carrying a great message around the world. It was really about more financial success. Is that correct? Right. So no matter what business you have, it's really about capitalism, isn't it? Yes. But here's the thing. To be successful in any game, you got to know the rules. Is that correct? Yeah. Could you imagine playing basketball and you actually thought that you were supposed to kick the ball in and everybody else was shooting the ball? That would be a mess, wouldn't it? Or because they call it football, you kicking the ball, trying to kick it to the receiver, so throw it to the receiver, because you've never seen a football game. No way in the world is going to win, is it? No. Did you know that's what happens to people in business all the time? People get in business every day as brand new startup entrepreneurs, and they don't know the rules. So they get in tax trouble. They don't know how to set their business up so they can get credit. They get in business, just like every business has a credit score just like every individual. But they get a business, they don't have a website. They don't have an address for their business. They just say, I'm in business, right? They don't bother to get a tax ID number. They don't publish the tax ID number. So they don't know how to build credit in their business. I was like that when I was, in my early 20s. I didn't know they had a thing called a credit score until I had messed mine up. I'm like, well, why would somebody keep up with something like that? It didn't make sense to me, right? But every business has that. So when you get in business, one of the things that you want to do, and most people do this, is they learn whatever their craft is. So if they want to, like you want to be in the bakery business, and somebody want to be in the, the protection and transportation business, you still got to know the rules of finance, don't you? Right. And that's what we do in MyEcon. We teach you the rules of finance and help you come up with the funding that's going to help you build a business. Because you just don't want to open a business, you want to open it and keep it open for generations and generations and generations. Does that make sense? Yes, sir. Yes. So that's what we're going to spend the next few minutes talking about here in MyEcon. We're going to talk about how you position yourself right now before you even open up that dream business so you can become financially successful. And this knowledge and information is going to help you do that. So is that good for everybody? Everybody cool with that topic tonight? Yes, sir. All right, so let's get busy. Everybody's good? All right, so let's see if I can do this, John. If not, you can help me. So we're going to talk about MyEcon. The reason we call it MyEcon is because we believe that everybody in every institution has an economy. MyEcon is short for My Economy, okay? You see, the U.S. has an economy. The state of Illinois has an economy. Somebody give me a county in Illinois. Cook. Cook. Actually, know about Cook, right? Yeah. Oh, not true. If I actually know about that one, if anything, I should have watched Cool's Brothers, right? Everybody, okay. So my bad, I missed out, okay? And so every city, county, state, even communities have an economy, don't they? And all of us individually have economies. And decisions that we make about our economy determines where we end up financially. A lot of people talk about their economy as if it's something that somebody else is running. It's always about this happened to me and that happened to me, the other thing happened to me and all this, as if they didn't have a part in it. But guess what? I went through the recession. I was born poor in South Georgia with my 5 brothers, my 5 sisters in a wood frame house. It rained outside, it rained inside with rats and roaches. My kids always say, well, Dad, that must have been like 100 years ago. No, that was like 59, 1972. So my point is, everybody's going to go through some ups and downs financially. Everybody's going to have some good days, some bad days, right? Yes, sir. But our economy is still our economy. Everybody say, my economy. My economy. See, everybody's got one, and somebody's got to run it. Somebody got to be in charge of it, don't they? And every day is not going to be rosy, and so you're going to have to learn to make some great decisions in some bad situations. That's true, isn't it? Yeah. Absolutely. Okay? That's just the way it works, right? Everything's not going to bounce your way all the time, is it? So that's why we started MyEcon, was to help people improve their personal finances. Let me tell you a little bit. Now, I've been doing this for years and years and years. I was doing MyEcon long before what we call it MyEcon, okay? You know, my background was finance and insurance and then network marketing. And I would teach this to all of my associates for many years, long before we called it MyEcon. But about 12 years ago, we put it under one umbrella and called it MyEcon. Now, since that time, we're a 12-year-old, debt-free, technology-driven company based in Atlanta. And we've helped our associates put over $400 million in their pockets in the last several years. Now, when we talk about the revenue here, the $400 million, we're not talking about what corporate did. We're talking about what went to our associates' pockets, okay? Because if you're talking about my economy, you can't measure what the company's doing. You got to measure what the associates are doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's what we do. Now, our mission is simple: personal financial success. See, that's why everybody goes into business. That's what everybody has dreams and goals about. They want to be financially successful. But if we're going to get something or attain something, we got to define it. Am I correct?
Right. Yes, sir.
All right. So personal financial success is simply having enough cash flow to support a person's lifestyle during their working years and during their retirement years. Now, that's a different number for everybody. Some people want $3,000 a month, some want $5,000, some want $10,000, some want $20,000. Everybody's got a different number that would make them feel comfortable in having enough money to take care of their lifestyle on a monthly basis. Does that make sense? All right. Now, but here's the key. That money's got to come from two unique sources. See, during our working years, it comes from our labor as we work jobs or build businesses or a combination thereof, right? But at some point, that money has got to come without us working. Am I correct?
Yep.
Okay, now some people call that retirement, right? Some people call it financial freedom. Some people call it financial independence. Whatever they call it, they need the money coming without some work going on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, so that's personal financial success. Example, let's say somebody's making $100,000 a year while they're working, and they want the same $100,000 when they stop working. So that means they got to build some assets while they're working: stocks, bonds, real estate, 401ks, 403bs, pension plans, some financial vehicle that when they stop working, that vehicle will continue to generate that same $100,000 a year income. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Now, you know what's great about that idea? That's not an Ivey Stokes idea. That's not even an American idea. That's a God idea. He created that. Deuteronomy 8:18, he says, I give you power to gain wealth. See, he said, I give you power to get a job. He said, I give you power to make a living. He said, I give you power to gain wealth. Let me tell you the difference between the two. See, anybody got a dollar? Somebody hold a dollar up for me. I'll show you the difference between wealth and money. Okay? All right, so this is how I get my money. I'll tell them regular basis. Okay, good deal. All right, good deal. So when you hold that dollar up, that dollar is currency. It represents wealth, but it's not wealth. Okay?
Right.
It represents wealth, but it's not wealth. Okay, you can put them down. Thank you, okay? Now, so what? So, see, here's what happens, right? See, that dollar is the same dollar, the same piece of paper that it was 50 years ago. And it always loses value. Because the dollar never changes. It's currency. It's a set denomination. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Example, okay? But when you convert the dollar into an asset that can grow, now you have wealth, okay? In other words, the book didn't, in the Bible, it didn't accidentally or just lackadaisically write the word wealth instead of money. The words are not interchangeable, okay? Example, and I'll give you a silly story that you'll remember for the rest of your life. There's a father and a mother and two children, 1955, okay? And so what happened was, They got up one Saturday morning and the dad had a dollar. He said, we're going to go have breakfast, honey. We're going to go, everybody go out and have breakfast. 1955. No problem. Take the dollar, go have breakfast, money left over. Real simple. Okay? But last minute, the dad says, oh, I forgot I got an appointment. We can't do that. You know, we're not going to be able to go have breakfast this morning. We'll do it next Saturday. Well, you know how things are, right? So he took the dollar, stuck it in his wallet, way back in the corner. And next Saturday was all the way to last Saturday. He forgot from 1955 all the way to 2017. The last Saturday, Dad said, oh my goodness, honey, I found a dollar. I told the kids we were going to take them to breakfast in 1955, but we never did it. And I don't like to tell the kids I was going to do stuff I didn't do. I know they're wrong now, but call them up and I'm going to take them to breakfast. But he only got a dollar. But something happened to his dollar over the last 60 years. The dollar won't buy breakfast. For one, that's more for. See, in 1955, he could buy breakfast with that dollar, couldn't he? But today, he can't buy breakfast with a dollar, can he? Because of something called inflation and the effect that it has on our finances. Now, if the dad had understood finance and he had simply invested the dollar in one of any decent financial companies out there, okay, he could have put it in, a company like Walmart, or he could have put it in a mutual fund, anything the market has generated over 9.5% for the last, 100 years. He could have put it in anything that would do just 8%. And there's something called the banker's secret. Some people call it Rule of 72, some call it the banker's secret. But basically, you divide 72 by whatever interest rate or return you're getting on your money. It tells you how long it's going to take for your money to double. So 72 divided by 8%, his money would double every 8 years, wouldn't it? Yeah. So if he had simply invested the dollar instead of putting it in his wallet, it was just going to stay there in the form of currency, because when he invested it, he would have transferred it into wealth instead of currency. Everybody with me there? All right, so let's look what happened to the dad's dollar. In 9 years, it's going to double every 9 years, right? So it's 1964, he had $2. 73, he had $4. 82, he had $8. 91, he had $16. In 2000, he would have $32. And in 2009, he'd have $64. They have over $100. And you still take the kids to breakfast.
Yeah.
You see? So the idea of us having wealth is not something that we came up with. And see, that's very important, because when you start realizing this is something that God came up with for us, that we're supposed to have, I know the effect it had on me, then I was willing to fight a whole lot harder for it, because it was my stuff. Even today, I say that this is my stuff that I got to go get because God ordained me to have it. It ain't just some stuff that I saw and thought I wanted, but I'm supposed to have it because God himself ordained it. Does that make sense? Yes. We're supposed to have land and cars and houses and gold and silver and any other kind of wealth that's in the universe. Does that make sense? Yeah. See, that's how we're supposed to build our economy. So that's what we're going to be talking about here when we talk about personal financial success. See, it's not some metaphor. It's not something that we think we might want to have. It's not just a good idea. It's not just something that's good for some people. No, he didn't put no names around it. He says, I give you power to gain wealth. Does that make sense? Yes. Now, let's talk about it a little bit more, okay? Now, the problem, though, is wages are stagnant in corporate America. But wages always have been stagnant for some people because the pay system ain't always fair. Anybody ever felt that before? Yeah. Most company pensions are gone. Most companies now have 401ks, so you got to put your own money in. Does that make sense? So millions of people are looking for a way to gain more personal financial success. And it can't just happen, just do hard work. Because if that had been the case, then God would say, I just give you, just keep working. He wouldn't need to give you no power, just work. And don't you know that most people you know that are wealthy, they don't work no harder than people who don't have wealth, do they?
That's right.
No. So people need a way. They need a method. So we got to go beyond just dreaming it. We got to go beyond just working for it. We got to have a strategy and a method to build our personal financial success. And that's what MyEcon's about. See, we got a solution. That solution is our personal financial success system. I used it to go from that situation that I told you about a couple minutes ago to being a multimillionaire and helping other people become millionaires also, which is very important to me. Now, the system we use to help people minimize their taxes, eliminate their debt, and grow their cash flow. See, it's real simple. If you can minimize your if you got less taxes, you got less debt, and you got more cash flow coming in, you're better shape financially. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So that's what it's all about. Now, we accomplish that by three strategies. Three strategies that we use to implement, okay? You know there's a strategy to everything? You know, think about it. If you got to have a strategy to play good basketball, you got to have a strategy to play good football, you got to have a strategy to get through college, you know, then we can't just say, just work hard and everything gonna be all right, can we? We have to do more than that. See, we use three strategies. The first one is income shifting. The second one is business income. And the third one is passive income. Now, let's look at each of these three strategies in more detail. The first one, income shifting, is extremely powerful because Americans lose about a third of their income to taxes. Now, I don't have to explain that because here's why. Have you ever felt bad on payday, not by how much you made, but how much they took? Anybody ever felt that? Again? You're like, oh my goodness. Did you really have to take that much, right? So we show people how to shift dollars from taxes back into their pocket. Okay, we do that by two methods. The first method is correct tax withholding. The second method is build a home-based business. Let's talk further. Now, correct tax withholding is very important because according to the IRS, not Ivey now, the IRS, okay? 80% of all employees have too much money taken out your paycheck for taxes, okay? In other words, almost everybody that works have too much money taken out their check for taxes. Now that happens because when people start new jobs, they're asked to fill out a form called a W-4, okay? And then when they fill that form out, it has poor directions, nobody helps them, they just say do it. Am I correct? Right. Okay? Then, so what happens is most people fill out incorrectly. When they fill out incorrectly, the employer takes out too much money and the employee loses money. Now, there's a couple common mistakes there. Number one, most people say, well, it doesn't matter if they take out too much because I get the money back at the end of the year. Well, that's not true either, okay? Because we don't get all the money back at the end of the year, do we? We get part of it. Thank you, Melinda. I appreciate that, okay? So you don't get all the money back. You get part of the money back at the end of the year, okay? But even if you got all the money back at the end of the year, you would still lose lots of money because of something called ROI, return on investment. See, our money has value, okay? You see, that's why insurance companies, banks, and financial people, they invest money because you can use money to make more money. Am I correct? Yes. Now, I don't know about you, but I grew up in a household, and I think most people did in this whole country, grew up in households where we were taught that the way you make money is to work. Am I correct? Yes. And if you want to make more money, you work harder, longer, faster, or go get another degree so you can make a little more money while you work. Am I correct? Yes. Okay? So in every context of making money, it was always working. Even when our parents said you need to save some money, they weren't talking about making money with money. They were just talking about putting up a little bit of money if you have a rainy day. Am I correct?
Yeah.
But money can be used to make more money. That's capitalism. Using money to make more money. But what if nobody ever showed us how to make money with money? And we only learned to make money with labor. And then a whole other group of people was making money with money, well, we wouldn't even have a chance of competing with it. That would be a very unfair game with it. Yeah. And that's what happens to most people. See, think about it. How much money could somebody lose? Well, what if the IRS took $3,000 to $5,000 out of your check, on average, your entire working lifetime, which could be 10, 20, 30, 40, maybe even 50 years, right? Right. And they held this money and invested it in the IRS's name instead of the employee's name. Based on what I told you about the banker's secret. If that money was doubling every 9 years. Are we talking about a small fortune? Mm-hmm. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, am I correct? That we lost by somebody else holding our money. You see? See, it's not just whether you get the money at the end of the year or whether you get the money during the year. It's somebody else is using your money to make more money. In other words, what if they didn't take the money and you took the $3,000 to $5,000 and bought a rental property every other year?
There you go.
That's a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody understanding that what we're talking about? Yeah. So we show our associates how to correct tax withholding to maximize their take-home pay. Then use that money for eliminating debt or investing. See, it would be like being in a fight with one hand tied behind your back. The other person fighting with all they got, and you only got one hand to fight. Because if they're making, if some people are making money with money and labor, and then other people are just making money when they work, there's going to be a problem, isn't it, Coach? That's going to be a problem. We got to change that, don't we? See, we can't change our finances if we don't change our strategy. You see, it's not like some people was lazy and didn't succeed financially. No, they have a bad strategy. It wasn't like some people didn't work hard enough and failed financially. They had a bad strategy. But they didn't know the strategy was bad. See, a lot of people like to put this thing in a picture of like, well, some people just can't get it done. No. Some people weren't taught the right way to get it done, so they had no chance of competing in the game. That's a whole different ballgame, isn't it? Okay? So let's go further, okay? Now, so every day in MyEcon, we see people pick up an extra $300 to $800 a month, sometimes much more, take that money, pay off all their debt, and then use the money that was going to taxes and debt and start investing and build that into $300,000 to $500,000. And some people have even become millionaires doing that same thing. See, that's what MyEcon's all about. That's what we do. Let's go further. So that's one strategy that you can use to start changing your life immediately. But guess what? When you change your life, you change your children's lives. And you change your grandchildren's lives. See, that's what makes me, I've been doing this 37 years, right? And my goal, day one, was to change communities, change our community. You don't change all communities, but, you know, being African American, obviously I was going to put our community first. That's just me, okay? Some people are like, well, y'all not do it that way. Well, that's the way I did it, okay? I mean, that's just reasonable to me, all right? So, what I like about this is now I'm seeing that happen. Second and third generation, because people are using their money. It's not about MyEcon. MyEcon is just one of those vehicles because there's only one business, and that business is called what? Capitalism. MyEcon is just one vehicle to help educate and train people how to operate in the business of capitalism. That makes sense? And come up with funding to help fund whatever else you want to do. Okay? So let's go further. Now, the second strategy that we got is build a home-based business. Now you say, well, what in the world does a home-based business have to do with me building my dreams, minimizing my taxes, and improving my finances? Well, it's all about a key word called incentive. See, our government gives us incentives, tax incentives specifically to do certain things, okay? Example, if you buy a home, the government will help you pay for it because they'll give you tax deductions. Am I correct? Okay? If you're paying rent, they don't help you at all, do they? No, now that's backwards. You know, you would think the government would help the person that needed help, right? But that's the way they do it, right? Okay? Now, if you put money in your retirement account, the government will help you because they'll use that pre-tax. And you don't have to pay taxes on that money. Am I correct? Yes. Okay. So it's all about incentive. Well, guess what? The government gives business people the incentives to go in business. Three main things. Number one, obviously get an opportunity to make some income. Now, most people think that's the only one. It's not. Okay? Number two, business owners have access to hundreds of tax deductions that employees do not. And the taxes are treated totally different. So in other words, if you work a job, the government takes the taxes first and you live on what's left over. If you own a business, you live on what you get, subtract all your expenses, and pay taxes on what's left over. Right. And business owners have over 400 deductions that employees can't qualify for. Now here's the biggest one though. Many of those future expenses that we already spending the money on, even if we're not in business. You know, some people say, oh, I can't afford a business. I say, you already paying for one. Isn't that something? They're already paying for something they don't have. Because many of the things we already spend money on would be deductible if we had a business and we'd save more in taxes than it costs us to be in business. Let's look at a few. The first one is car and truck expenses, but it can even be transportation, okay? Now, if you got a personal vehicle and you don't have a business, then you got to pay for it by yourself. But if you got a personal vehicle you're using in conjunction with building your business, now you can write off expenses on that business. So let's just say that, now you can write off mileage at about 54 cents a mile, okay? Or you can write off percentage of things like gas, tires, maintenance, insurance, lease payments if you're leasing the vehicle, interest payments if you're making a note on the vehicle, and the percentage of the original cost of the vehicle is called depreciation. Now, so let's say you're going to spend $5,000 a year on your vehicle anyway. Now, what if you could deduct part of that? See, so it'd be like this. So let's say somebody makes $60,000 a year, and they don't have a business. Well, they're getting taxed on 60. But let's say they got a business and they got $5,000 worth of vehicle expenses. Now the government say they only made $55,000, but they really made $60, because they don't have to pay taxes on the additional $5,000. So if that person is in the 33% tax bracket, now they just saved a third of that $5,000, didn't they? Because normally, even if the worst case would be 25%. So you got to make $4,000 so the government can have $1,000. Okay, and then you can take $3,000 home, right? So wouldn't it make sense to make your vehicle partially tax deductible so the government can help you pay for it?
Yeah.
That would just make good business sense. Am I correct?
Yes.
All right, so that's what that's all about. Now, but you know what? I got a big team up in New York. A lot of them don't have vehicles. They use public transportation all the time, right? Well, even that could be a couple $1,000s a year. Am I correct?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, that's tax deductible too, as long as it's in conjunction with you doing business. So let's say you got to take, let's say you drive your car to the mall, right? You go to the mall, and then you just go to the mall on your own, you don't have a business. Well, guess what? That expenditure was all on you. But if you drive your vehicle to the mall and you do a business, and let's say you had a 20-mile round trip, and you passed out some business cards, or gave a couple salespeople, just gave them a card and said, I'm a business owner, and I'd love to give you my card. Now you made that a business trip, am I correct?
Yeah.
Now that mileage is partially tax deductible. So at 54 cents a mile, guess what? Now what if you did that half the time that you use your car all year? See, now all of a sudden, you're starting to get those deductions. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And we have complete training on this. I'm just giving you an introductory to it now. Well, let's try it on cell phones, internet access, computers, tablets. Don't we spend thousands of dollars on that stuff on a year-round basis? Yes. Whether we're in business or not, am I correct? Okay, what about travel? The thing I tell people about travel is everybody travels, and if they don't, they want to. Everybody want to go somewhere, right?
Yes.
That's really what it's all about. So why not let the government help send you wherever it is that you want to go? See, maybe you went to the family reunion, okay? And you just talk to one of your cousins about your business, right? Or maybe you want to go on a great vacation, so you just get on the internet wherever you're going and set up a little seminar in a coffee shop in that area that you're going to, and shoot it out there on the web, right? And so you invite anybody in that area to come to your seminar. So now, guess what? You went to Myrtle Beach to do a seminar, right? There you go. That's really what it's all about, right? So you don't have to lie, you don't have to cheat. That's the rules that our government set up. Everybody, that's pretty cool stuff, isn't it? Anybody got a dream vacation they want to take? All right, see, just like I do a seminar while you're there. Now, just expand MyEcon while you're there. We're going to be all right. Everybody good with that? All right. What about Ear Meals Entertainment? Now, you can tell I kind of like that one, okay? I like that Meals Entertainment thing, right? So make it tax deductible. See, maybe you got your daughter graduating from college this year, right? Or graduating from high school, you want to give them a party, right?
Right.
Well, guess what? Now you can make it tax deductible. Because when all your guests come in, you give them a little small envelope or invitation, whatever you want to do, right? And on there, you said, we're not going to talk about business today, but this event is being sponsored by my business. And my web address is below. I want you to check it out, because I'm going to follow up on you in a couple days about my business, okay? So I got some really good stuff to tell you, right? So now, the business sponsored your daughter's graduation party, and it was all tax deductible. You see, all we got to do is you got to think. See, that's what MyEcon do. It'll educate you on finances and teach you to think like the business owner instead of just an employee. Does that make sense? Right. And that's how you start lowering your taxes. You got to have that right thought process. Everybody good? Yeah. And the last one is wages. If you got kids or grandkids, you're probably going to spend money on them anyway, right? Okay? So what you do is you hire them. See, if you're in a 25% tax bracket You got to make four things. If you're going to spend $3,000 on your child, it costs you $4. Because you got to make 4, so the government can get $1,000, 25% for taxes, right? Which will leave you $3,000 that you can spend. Am I correct? All right. So if you spent 3 on the child, it costs you 4, right? But what if you hired the child and paid them 4? You know, for the year, school clothes, spending money, lunch money, whatever, right? That whole $4,000 is deductible. It doesn't count on your income, and you take the whole $4,000 home. Now, when you take that $4,000 home, you spend 3 on the child, and you still got a tip for yourself, right? There you go. What if you invested that tip? That tip would grow, am I correct? Right. You know, if you're going to send kids to college, if you're going to buy them a car, whatever you're going to do. Could you imagine doing that for 10, 15, or 20 years? See, these are the ways that you can build more income. And I used a small example, okay? And the $3,000 that the child has, as long as you pay them less than $6,400 a year, they pay no taxes. And then if you got kids that are in college, you know, once they get over 18, you can give them a 1099, and you can even go higher. They'll have to file, but they still won't lose. Does that make sense? Right. So you can use dollars that you were going to lose to taxes to help finance your lifestyle or your dreams and goals, whether that's a business or whatever it is. Does that make sense? So that's what we're doing here at MyEcon, showing people how to grow their cash flow. Now, what if you take the dollars that you got from, you know, shifting your taxes on your W-4 back into your pocket, and then you got dollars from, you know, writing off your lifestyle and minimizing your business income, taxes on your business income, right? And you took that money and you started investing. Did you know if you can come up with $700, $800 a month simply by doing that, and you start investing that money, you could be a millionaire in 17, 18 years? You know? Or what if you took that money and paid off your debt? See, imagine what would happen if you were putting $800 a month on your debt. Well, that debt be going away with it. And then, pretty soon, you have the $800 plus the dollars that's now going to debt. You're shifting it from your creditors back into your pocket, and then you started investing that money. So you got to have a strategy. So you can't just be about working. You got to have a strategy to become financially successful. And in MyEcon, we teach that strategy every day. As a matter of fact, that's what we're going to be teaching tomorrow at our training out in Waukegan. We're going to be teaching that. And then we're going to set that strategy up so that every single month, because we got some great trainers and teachers here now, right?
Yes, yes.
They'll teach that strategy, every details, how to do the taxes, how to keep tax records, details. Teach it once a month, every year. So 12 times a year, and so you'll have the opportunity. And there's videos and audios, and there's, you know, people all over MyEcon that have become experts at just doing that. We have people in MyEcon that, you know, make great income in the business. We have people that make a small amount of money in business, but we have people from both of those categories that have become millionaires because they use the strategy. So you can have 2 people living in the same neighborhood making the same amount of money, and one becomes a millionaire and one makes a living. Because of what they're using for taxes, right? And then we ain't going to even call this person's name, right? But we all know that we actually had one person who had the gall to call everybody in America that didn't know their taxes stupid. There you go. Their name ain't worth calling, okay? There it is. All right. So that's our first strategy. It's called income shifting. Now, can you think of some money that you would like to shift from taxes back into your pocket? Most people would like to do that, wouldn't they? Okay? See, we haven't talked about business yet, have we? But now we're going to go to our second strategy called business income. See, here's what happens with that, right? There's an old saying in the world that if you want a great business, find a problem or a need and create a solution, and you got a foundation for a great business. You know, and I like to use a real silly example of old Henry Ford. You know, I know he didn't create the car, but we're going to just give him credit for it, right? Everybody was walking or riding a horse, and old Henry came up with the car. Now, that didn't take much sales, did it? To convince somebody that you want to walk or ride. You want to ride a horse or a car? So he didn't have to be a great salesman. He just had a great solution, right? Well, guess what? We don't have to be great at sales either in MyEcon, because here's why. Did you know that 80% of the people in this country are struggling financially? 80% of the people in this country, in America, are struggling financially. Did you know that 69% of people in America don't have $1,000 in savings and investments? And did you know that some people try to put that on our community? But did you know there's 350 million people in this country? And 69% can't be a minority? Did you understand that?
Yes, sir.
We are 11% of the population, and the 69% of people don't have $1,000.
It ain't a.
That root did not flow from our community. I built my business all over America: Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, Utah. I would go to some cities that wouldn't even be an African American in that city but me, and they still didn't have $1,000 in their investment account. See, it's an American thing. It's not an African American thing. It's not a Caucasian American thing. It's not an Asian American thing. It's an American thing. Did you know most of the colleges are broke? They go year-to-year funding. Did you know most government agencies are broke? They go year-to-year funding. Did you know most of the churches are broke? They go from Sunday to Sunday. In every community, that's where it is, right? And we go all the way to the White House. Our government borrow money to spend. So the whole thing is a mess. But where there's a big mess, if you come up with a solution, you got a great opportunity. Some of the greatest companies in the world was created during the Great Depression in 1929. See, because when people are in trouble, that's when they focus to change. Am I correct?
Yes.
And so what we did is we turned financial education and supporting software. So we don't just do the education, we got supporting software into our business opportunity. See, we give everybody a world-class business system. You see, I say it's world-class because you can do it on your phone, your tablet, or your computer. Everybody walking around with their business in their pocket, electronic. All I have to do is just pop that thing up. You got a world-class website, show it to anybody in the world, anywhere they can do business right now. Does that make good sense?
Yes.
That's what it's all about, okay? So, now, our number one product is our Financial Success Membership. We turn all of our information, products, and services into a membership that's just for our business associates, just to become our business. Number one, they're going to get the income shifting strategy. We talked about that a minute ago, didn't we? We're going to shift some dollars from taxes back into people's pocket, okay? So they're going to get some cash. Then we got our cash flow manager software. You got to keep tax records for the IRS, okay? So you got an app on your phone where you can keep all the tax records, okay? Now, if you got a receipt, just take a picture of the receipt, upload it on the system, throw the receipt away, you're good to go, okay? So that's what the software does. We got identity theft protection, okay, to protect your identity. And if your identity is breached, then guess what? We'll spend up to $1 million to restore your good name. We got free and discount legal services. Some people go into business and never do all the legal paperwork. Some people never do all the legal paperwork in their households. They don't have wills. They get a ticket, and instead of the thing getting thrown out, it costs them $1,000 because they don't have legal representation. See, all of these things that affect a person's life. And we got to start dealing with them, because if not, they mess up all of our hard work. Everybody just wave your hand. We need a break on that. Woo! How could you do all of that? You know? That's a mess. We got credit education to help you improve your 10% car loan. You get a 12% or 29% car loan. So it just costs you more and more money. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
And then we got discount travel and corporate perks. Now that's just for our associates. Now we sell some other stuff. It's still good stuff, but it ain't as good as our stuff, right?
That's right.
To the general public. Everybody got it? Okay? So we got other discount products we sell to the general public. We use what we call our retail strategy. Cheap prices and the reach of the internet. Did you know the internet's changed the world? And did you know that even if you don't want to, you can't stop that change? You know, I remember when I was a little boy and I would hear people, they said, you know, you hear older people talking about, you know, new modern stuff, and it was like, all these kids, they just got You know, they always trying to come up with some new stuff. Now this is back, I'm 58 back, and so this is back when I was 17, 18, you hear older people talking this way, right? And now, I hear some of my 57, 58-year-old friends talking. I'm like, didn't you learn you can't stop progress and change? You know they're closing 68 Macy's stores this year? They're not building on new malls. Because the world changed. And you can get on the web and build just as big a store as anybody in the world. Because they don't know what city you live, they don't know your race, they just know you got a business on the web. See, we take all of our products and we put them on every associate's website, okay? We even take products from some of our associates have products on our website. We got it underneath that, we just put it out there, right? Now, same quality as you see advertised on TV every day from $9.99 to $29.99 out of $7.99. Okay, we got the cash flow manager software for entrepreneurs to keep their tax records. We got travel with just about every major travel company out there. Expedia, Priceline, we got all of them. You know, I always say it don't matter what you buy, just buy it from MyEcon. Just buy it on my site, okay? Just remember that. That's the only thing you gotta remember, all right? Health and nutrition products, okay, coffees and teas. We got a mall with 1,000 stores and millions of products. I remember when we first started online marketing, way back in 1998, you know, people would be like, well, the shipping too high, this and that, and that, all kinds of stuff, right? Now, you know, we sell, people go to our website, buy something from Walmart, and when they get down to Walmart and pick the stuff up, Walmart got a special line for them and give them privileges over the customers who drove down there. You know, you go to a hotel nowadays, right, or the airline, and you go to their website, they want to charge you $100 more for a ticket than going to online. Isn't that crazy? The world changed. Millions of products. So all you got to do is refer people to your website. See, if you got friends, you got relatives. Maybe you got somebody, a daycare that keeps your kids, you know, during the day. Say, hey, you know, can you guys buy your supplies on my website? You'll save some money. See, they're going to get cash back on this mall. So you can start building some great customers and making money. Does that make sense? See, we're a capitalistic society. You know what that means? That means in America, you need to be selling some stuff. Okay? See, because you're going to definitely be buying some stuff, right? So if you don't get in the capital markets, then guess what? You're going to get left behind. Am I correct? So we got to get that done. But see, you don't have to talk to do that. All you got to do is have access. It's on the website. Just give people access and they can buy from you. Does that make sense? All right. Now, we also got a world-class compensation plan. See, when you sponsor 2 people in our business or just do $200 in sales, you can get up to 100% of the sales volume generated on your website. Okay? So basically, that means if somebody books a hotel room, there's a $50 sales commission, you can get the whole thing. Or maybe there's a cruise and there's $200, you can get the whole thing. Now, if somebody on your team sells something, you get up to 85%. Okay? Now, you never have to recruit anybody in MyEcon, but it's very beneficial if you do. If you refer somebody, they become an associate, then we'll give you a $50 referral fee. If they refer somebody, we'll give you a $25 referral fee, and that goes to infinity. So if that person refers somebody, we'll give you another $25. And if that person refers somebody, we'll give you another $25. And then every time you get a total of 7, we'll give you a $1,000 bonus. As fast as you can go. You see, some people say, well, you know, the economy is a little slow. Not unless you look on the wrong side. See, here's what happens to a lot of people. They want things to be like they want to be. Anybody got kids at home? Anybody got kids at home? You ever seen kids go in the refrigerator? There's a whole refrigerator full of food. Ain't no food in here. You ever hear that foolishness? Now, what that really means is, we want some pizza from Pizza Hut. We want to go to McDonald's. That's what that really means. Am I correct? But they just say ain't no food. The refrigerator about to fall down and got so much food. And so that's what adults do with business. They're like, well, see, I want business to be like I want to be. I want to operate like I want to operate. But that ain't the way it operates. It operates certain way is based on trends of people. I'll give you an example. Now you take most millennials, right? If you call them, they won't answer the phone. They just look at it. Am I that real? I know you look at the phone. But if you text, they text you right back. So really, they in charge. They just saying, you're going to do it my way, right? So what happens, if companies want to sell them some stuff, they got to do it electronically. See, the views, the mindsets of the way people are dictate how we do business, right? So the economy's not slow. When President Obama was in office from that 8-year period of time, when he took office, the stock market was at 6,500. That means the top 30 companies, if you had one share of stock, divide that by 30, okay, just divide 6,500 by 30, so you got the average price of a stock, okay, so what's that, $300, $200, $210 a piece, right? Well, when he left office, it was 18,000. So 100% growth from 6,500 will be 13,000. It's 100%, just double 6,500, right? And then if you take, so it went up 150% in 8 years, 12% a year. Now that's growth, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So that's growth. The economy wasn't slow. It was only slow for people who looked at it the wrong way. So if you're looking at it the wrong way, and you're looking for it to be like you want it to be, then it's going to be slow. Because it don't work that way no more. See, the economy is slow for Macy's. Because they're trying to build stores. The economy is slow, almost stopped for Kmart. Right, boom, Kmart. But there was a time in the 60s when companies like that was almost running the world, am I correct? But the world changed it. And see, so what happens if you can change your mindset to the way this new world works economically, you can become wealthy and you can become a millionaire. And see, in MyEcon, you've got two methods to do that, or you got a combination. You can do that through the strategy, it takes a little longer, or you can do that through the business and the strategy, and you can speed it up a lot faster. Does that make sense? All right. Now, imagine building a marketing team out there. So a company's paying you to build a marketing team. But here's the big thing. The number one problem that people say is, I don't have the money to build a business, right? But our business is government funded. Because we show you how to save more on taxes before you get in the business than it costs you to do business. So money is never an issue. Unlimited government funding. Now some folks say, I ain't got no money. I'm like, well, you need to quit giving it to the government. Because they want to give it back to you. They just want you to put it in business. That's what our government is saying. You can have your tax dollars if you put it in business. And then whatever you make from the business, you can keep that. But you can't keep them initial dollars. You got to put them initial dollars in business. If you don't put it in business, we're going to just take it off the top. Is that the way it works?
Yes, sir. That makes sense.
And that ain't the word deal in town, is it? You see, because a lot of people look for jobs, but you can't find a job unless somebody builds a business. So the government put a premium on business builders. So we know what we got to do, right? Angela already told us. We need to get the building done. We need to get the building. And see, when you get a crystal clear picture like that, you know exactly what to do, don't you? Let me give you the magnitude real quick of our compensation plan. So he gave you the general, get up to 100% on sales. We'll pay you $50 marketing. You can build a marketing team. But watch what can happen to you here. Every time you bring somebody, every you refer somebody to MyEcon, you get you earn $193. You get $50 immediately, and then that count is one of 7 people that you need for $1,000 bonus. Well, if you divide $1,000 bonus by 7, and that's $143 each, right? Okay, so if you add 143 and 50, you have $193, don't you? Now, if that person refers somebody, okay, you get $25 immediately because they get 25, you get 25 because they did the work, right? But it also counts as one of those 7 for $1,000 bonus, doesn't it? Okay, so you divide the 1,000 once again by 7, that's 143. So 25 and 143 is 168. Am I correct? So bottom line is you can bring as many people as you want in for 193 and make $193 on as many as you bring into infinity. Okay? And when they bring people in, you get $168 on their first 2 to infinity. So every 7 people is at least $1,175. But if you can build a team of 60 people, it'll pay you $10,000 and $180 monthly residual. Now you didn't have to get them all by yourself to get $10,000, did you? And it's self-funded. You know, you might talk to one person and they can't understand what self-funded means. Go find another. You go find another one, right? Okay? If you build a team of 600 people, you get $100,000. See, think about it. See, I was a little kid down in South Georgia, you know, and I left Georgia Tech the same way I got there. Man, I was on Greyhound and broke. But I said, I know I'm gonna get rich because the Lord said He gave me power to gain wealth. You know, I remember that. I remember a lot of scriptures, but I remember that one. Every day, you know, no matter what my struggle was, I said, I already made up my mind. This is my stuff. The Lord gave it to me. I got to go get it. He wasn't no quit, no matter what nobody said, no matter what nobody did. All I had to do was build a market team, man. And so that's how I got rich. See, it ain't no different than building some other kind of business. You build a business to make money, to grow financially. And so you got to start dreaming about rich. You know? Some people say, don't call it rich, it just don't sound too good. Well, having a bunch of them. And a thing wrong with that, you know? My youngest daughter, you know, sometimes she get kidded. She's like, well, Dad, you know, they always talking about I just have it so easy. I said, honey, don't let nobody make you feel bad because you didn't have to work for something your daddy gave you. That don't even make no sense. That's just plain silly. You see? What if you build a team of 6,000 people? Get $1 million. And up to $48,000 a month. So you can build it. So you just got to have a dream and go to work. And all you got to do is just show people. See, some people ain't gonna do nothing you talk to them about, okay? Some people, that's just the way they are. You know, that's just who they are, right? But there's plenty of people in America that got plenty of sense. And there's plenty of people in America that want their money. They'd rather have their money than give it to the government. That's just a reasonable fact, isn't it? And ain't no sense in you wasting your time talking to somebody if they don't want their own money. I mean, what are you going to talk to them about, right? And then so here's the last strategy. Okay, so we talked about income shifting. We're going to shift some money from taxes back into your pocket. You're going to take that money and you're going to go into business, but you're going to have more money in tax savings than it's going to cost you to do business. Let's just analyze that for a moment here, okay? Now, everybody does it. Okay? Well, if you go to the web right now and Google, President Obama. I know they got another person over there now, but I ain't talking about that person. Okay? And you know, if you Google President Obama, right now, right, you see his taxes from 2008 to today. When he was in the White House as President of the United States, he had a business because he was an author. And he was still getting revenue from the book. And he had tax write-offs that saved him money on taxes. When an athlete or an entertainer is making a lot of money, so let's say you're an entertainer and you're making $50 million a year. Okay? And you say, well, now I got to give the government 45% of this money, okay? So I got to write the government a check for, $25 million, $24 million, right? Or I could just start me a business, and then my business need an airplane, and I can buy a building with my... That just makes good business sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Some people start a foundation, right? But it just makes good business sense to direct your tax dollars where you want them to go, right? So we hear that with athletes and entertainers and business people every day. But it doesn't matter if you're doing that with $200 a month, or $2,000 a month, or $20,000 a month. It's the same financial, factual principle. And that will give you the seed money that will let you build a business. And then when you build a business, now you can finance anything else you want. That's how a person can take $10 and go to $600 million. That's how, a person can, Bill Gates got $50,000 and turned it into, $70 billion. See, that's why Oprah, she'll, instead of just giving the money to the government in taxes, she said, let me just give some people some cars. Am I right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of times you got to go there to explain it to your friends and your family and your relatives because they so locked in on the struggle that they can't even see an answer. Even when the answer comes. Does that make sense? But the government will fund the businesses. You got thousands of businesses in the state of Illinois, some are multi-million-dollar businesses that are here because of tax incentives. And that's where the funding comes from. The funding ain't coming through a grant. It's probably not going to come through a loan. You got to get it through taxes and turn that into revenue. It can't work like we want it to work. It works like it works. And then we got to use the strategy to benefit us. Does that make sense? Now, the last strategy is the fund strategy, okay? Passive income. This is where the real wealth is. See, passive income is generated by assets like stocks, bonds, real estate, passive income businesses, retirement accounts. You got to take some of that money that you get. The money comes in currency, doesn't it? And then we got to invest some of that money and turn it into wealth. Does that make sense? Yeah. That's what capitalism really is all about. Taking some of that money that we get in the form of currency. See, because when we keep our money in currency all the time, it's taxed the highest. Does that make sense? Yes, sir. When you keep your money in currency, it can't grow. Because currency don't grow, does it? You hear some people that say, well, see, I don't deal with all that. I just do all mine in cash. Now, that's smart. That same dollar, if you hold a dollar in your pocket, it'll be the same dollar 25 years from now. It just won't buy as much. Does that make sense? So we have to flip it or transition it into currency, into wealth, stocks, bonds, real estate, gold, silver, 401k, 403b, pension plan, annuity, something that has the ability to appreciate or go up and down without us working. That's wealth. And that's what you learn in MyEcon. See, because here's what. Everybody is going to need or desire passive income at some point in life. Age, health, sickness, want to take care of family members or something. Everybody's going to need that. And we're supposed to have it. God said He gave us power to get it. Because that's what wealth does. It provides passive income. And it's in every form. Unfortunately, when most people need it, they don't have it, they don't have enough of it. So then they start to suffer or struggle. You hear them talk about ball players doing that all the time, right? And entertainers. They're no different than everybody else. They're just public. Am I right? They're just publicized, but everybody else going through the same thing. They're just in public. We don't want that to happen to MyEcon associates. So we empower every associate to build passive income. We educate them on how investments work. We teach them investment strategies. And our whole environment is about helping people to start investing. So they're not investing in MyEcon. We show them how the top investments in the world work. Because that's the whole key. If you're going to live in America, you got to own part of it. See, it's just a fact. Real estate gonna go up, not down, over a long period of time. It'll go down and up, right? But long term it's gonna be higher. Stocks are gonna go up. Companies are gonna grow. Because boys and girls are gonna grow up, become men and women, and have children, and they're gonna have dreams and goals. Houses, cars, furniture, all these things that we buy every day. Am I correct? Yeah. That's what drives capitalism. It's an unlimited stream of income. And the only way you can get part of it is to be a business owner and to be an investor. You see, when we just employees in it, nothing wrong with a job. A job is good because it helps you financially. But see, when a person is just an employee, they're not participating in that income stream of it. They help build it, but they don't participate on an equal basis in it. See, imagine this. What if you was in MyEcon and you was investing $500 to $5,000 a month? See, when you're doing that, you can't help but become a millionaire. See, here's the bottom line. Millions of people desire more financial success. But to get it, they need more cash flow and better strategies. See, it can't just be a desire. It can't just be a dream. You got to have more cash, and you got to have better strategies. If you get the cash and don't have the strategy, you're going to lose the cash. If you got the strategy and don't have the cash, it's just a dream. A lot of people got that, right? They got a dream, but they got to have both. Now, if you are one of those people, and you want more, and did you know that more comes in? Did you know Warren Buffett is the second richest man in the world, and he's still working 80 hours a week because he wants more? Oprah got more money than they can count, and she's still working 70, 80 hours a week. See, more has nothing to do where your financial status is. More is a mindset. That's what more is. See, if you want more, you're in the right place at the right time. Because our financial success system is the solution. See, you get back, whoever invites you, they're going to take you to the website, show you around, answer any questions you may have, give you the opportunity to sign up. When you sign up, you the income shifting strategy. That's going to give you. That's going to show you where to get the money from, right here, right? You're going to get the software. You're going to get the identity theft protection. You're going to get the free and discount legal services, credit education if you need. Okay, we got discount travel and corporate perks. My favorite, you'll get the. My second favorite, you're going to get the business income system that you can show this to other people to make money doing it. And then my favorite is this one, the valuable tax benefits that save most people more money than it even costs them to do business. So I say the government pays the bill. See, if you were going to lose $2,000 to $3,000 in taxes, and you got in business and you saved the $2,000 to $3,000 in taxes, and then it costs you $400 or $500 a year to run your business, you have a positive cash flow even before you started making money in the business, didn't you? And that's what we do in MyEcon. Y'all have fun tonight?
Yeah.
Learn some stuff tonight?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. So Melinda, call up. See if you can do this. We've got another drawing for our guest, and so I'm going to put this mic, and she's going to. So we're going to get that done. One more drawing for our guest. All right.
Fine, bye.